I got married as a virgin, but this happened to me. I got married as a virgin. This happened to me. Good morning, my name is Antonia Ogbewe. Please, if you have not liked and followed this page, please do. I knew my husband in the church. We attend the same church. And my father is the general overseer of that church. So we knew ourselves, we did our courtship and we got married. It's been 3 months that we are married now. Getting home, I discovered my husband has no manhood. Yes, you heard me right. My husband has no manhood. Not that the thing is not functioning. He does not have anything below his leg. I got home, as I said before, I discovered that he was born like that. It's an handicap that he has, but I never knew before I got married to him. So I asked my husband, I said, what is this? He said, yeah, that is how he was born. I said, but during our courtship, you didn't tell me that you were having this kind of handy. You didn't explain anything to me. It's been 3 months, I am suffering. It's been 3 months, I have not enjoyed any pleasure. Apart from touching and using hand and others to give me a little satisfaction. I told him, how are we going to do this? He said, we can adopt children. I said, yes. So he began to tell me that this only thing is not the thing that completes marriage. That we can survive by using other methods. Since 3 months I have been suffering, I decided to tell it to my parents. That daddy, my husband, the man I got married to 3 months ago, has no manhood. I am not going to stay in that marriage. My parents said I am trying to bring disgrace to them. They called my husband. My husband told them, yes, that is how he was born. My parents are telling me that marriage is for better, for worse. That I am not leaving that marriage. That if I leave, I'm going to bring shame and disgrace to the family because it is a name that is well known. It is a name that is well known that I'm going to bring disgrace. They will say that their daughter that just got married in a very big style now is getting divorced. I am confused. I really don't know what to do. Always angry at home. I know sex is not the only thing that makes marriage, but also it is very important in marriage. My husband is telling me that we are made for each other. I say, yes. I wish you explained this thing to me before I entered into this marriage. I would have made my decision whether to agree or not. But you didn't tell me. Now I entered into the marriage and I discovered this, that you have no manhood. I am sorry about that, but I don't think I can pay the consequences. My parents are not happy matters at all. They want to protect their name and they are not doing anything to make me happy. I am confused and I don't know what to do. Please, lovers of good things, I need your advice. I need your opinion. What am I supposed to do? If I leave, am I breaking the law of marriage? Am I selfish? My head is, I don't really know what to do. Please, lovers of good things, help me out. Leave your opinion. Leave your comment. God bless you. I remain your sister, your friend, Antonia Ogbewe. If you have not liked and followed this page, please do. Thank you so much. Bye.
morning, beautiful people. It's a brand new morning, guys. Good morning. This is your girl Muku Oluma Agu. I'm coming to you live from Minnesota, Brooklyn Park, and this is the Good Morning Breakfast Show, the Table Talk with Muku and Jojo. What an interesting topic today. Christian dating before marriage, the why and the why not. As we talk, as I greet you guys, all I need you guys to do is to grab your popcorn, grab your coffee, like I am drinking my coffee this morning, grab your tea if you are allergic to caffeine. Let's have a discussion, and I expect you guys to please share this live broadcast while we wait and build our audience. And I say, Rich Brief, welcome. You are one of our first viewer today. Sex is very, very important in a marriage. So tell me about it. This is a very hot topic. This is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. This is something that people experience as Christian, and they talk a lot about Christian dating. You don't know what you're going to expect, and being a virgin that have not experienced sexual intercourse. This is a hot topic. I came across this video, and I just choose to talk about this today. How you guys like my hair? I'm going blonde today. I'm changing everything. So guys, let's get ready. We got Jojo is on now, and we're waiting for our two co-hosts that joining us lately. As soon as they come, we'll get them on. Good morning, Jojo. How are you? How was your
Good
week?
morning, good morning. You know this. The devil is a liar. This computer and everything
Yes, my
messing me up
computer
this
just.
morning.
Well, let me tell you something. The devil, there are things that we want to talk about that people are going through in their relationships and marriages. So the devil, you will know, you won't believe. As soon as I went live, my whole computer just shut up. But because of the steam that I used for us to do this program, so it kept rolling. It was still rolling while my computer was off. Jojo could not even get her computer off. And then
Neither
last time,
neither could I. My computer, the one I was planning on using, was so perfect,
I
but
will be right
the,
back, people.
the screen
mhm.
is cracked. I don't even know how it's cracked.
Girl, we're talking. The devil is a liar. Yesterday, I was going to work last night, and I went to the gas station to fill my tank, right? After I got done filling my tank, sis, I got in the car to start the car to put her to work. Car wouldn't start.
Wow.
I'm like, what the hell? Car wouldn't start. I'm telling you, the car wouldn't start. Called Jamil. We tried to jump the car. It won't start. She said, Mommy, just take my car. Let's go. I left my car parked right at the pump. I
Wow.
told the manager, I said, listen, I will get the tow truck tomorrow morning to tow my car. So this morning I went there. And good thing, I told you the story how when I was overweight and this guy used to come from other the gas station to help me pump my gas. He thought I was pregnant because I lied to him. I was so embarrassed with my weight. He was like, uh, how far along are you? I was 8 months, 9 months. And certain time I could not even go back to the filling station after I had my surgery and started to lose my belly fat. And when he said you had a baby, yes, I had a boy. Yes, sir. This morning when I went, he was like, I was wondering who car. I knew this car looked familiar. So, and the tow truck on the way now to tow the car to the shop. So the devil has been busy. But we have to talk about this. We're gonna talk. Good morning, your girl here, your favorite girl. Mama, don't take no bets. A born again Christian too. I'm a born again believer. Know Jesus Christ and the power of His resurrection. But sometimes I can just be, in every family got a rebellious child. So I think I am the rebellious child because the way I see it, the way I talk it, I don't care if daddy get mad at me. I know he would discipline me anyway. So guys, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good.
Other than the car and all that good stuff.
We all right. Just tell the people you here. Let's talk this thing. Please invite.
Yeah, let me share this to Facebook. Let me see if that'll even.
But let's introduce ourselves first before we can start doing all of this and welcome our guests. So, Everybody's okay?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just talk while we're doing this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, talk
Jojo,
about our days and whatever. Hmm.
a privilege because it's your platform too. So we can't hear you, Jojo. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mute myself. Sorry.
So you gotta start all over.
Okay. I say I can't wait for today's topic. I know it's very interesting, and there will be a lot of comments from the audience and us, because when it comes to things like that, everyone look at it different. Even for we the Christians, everyone hold the Christian thing in a whole different way, and another person hold it in a whole another way. So I can't wait to hear other arguments or agreement or disagreement. I just can't wait. I am excited about the topic today. And these are things that we have to bring up in the communities, especially when we want to go on our Christian faith, which that's what we should do. And also we should have some understanding, and then people can learn from it. People who think that they want to go by our rules, or we who as Christians are supposed to go by our rules, what other things we have to do, what steps we have to take before we even get into something like that, because things like that will get you trapped. So you have to look at other stuff before you get into it. So our eyes have to be open, so tomorrow you can get into it, and then you have to start running from it. So this is a learning process, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
Honey Bunch.
I definitely do agree with you. Good morning, everyone. Honey Bunch, that's my play name. Second time on here, I'm honored. When I received that video from Muku, I was like, oh my gosh, like really, like who would want to be married to such, right? So I was like, I'm so for marriage. I'm so for marriage, and I'm so spiritual as well, because I do my live on Facebook where I come and I have different topics from the Bible, and I try to teach and educate, and all of us about God's word, right? So that is honestly a very tough topic to discuss, because know my values and my give and take on marriage is like, oh my, what am I going to say? How am I going to be viewed as or looked as, right? So let's just see how this goes.
So
And
let me
Mr. Muku, let me just say something before we go into it. I love your hair. And that the makeup you take this morning,
Thank
you
you.
are glowing, my girl. Jesus. The makeup, the lipstick, the hair, it just complement well together.
Thank
You
you.
look beautiful, like absolutely beautiful.
Thank you,
thank
Dr.
you. Thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you so much. I'm blushing, guys. I am blushing. So before we dive into our conversation, guys, like I said, audience, viewers, if you want to come in, I will share the link up here. If you want to come in and be a part of this unique conversation, all you need to do is to follow the link and be a part of this conversation. But before we start, for the benefit of our just come, those who are just coming on, let's just play the video one more time. Let and see what's going on here. Because who, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, we're gonna be backstage while we allow you to watch this video, because I don't know what life would be with, what life would be with.
I got married as a virgin, but this happened to me. I got married as a virgin. This happened to me. Good morning, my name is Antonia Ogbewe. Please, if you have not liked and followed this page, please do. I knew my husband in the church. We attend the same church. And my father is the general overseer of that church. So we knew ourselves, we did our courtship, and we got married. It's been 3 months that we are married now. Getting home, I discover my husband has no manhood. Yes, you heard me right. My husband has no manhood. Not that the thing is not functioning. He does not have anything below his leg. I got home, as I said before, I discovered that he was born like that. Is an handicap that he has, but I never knew before I got married to him. So I asked my husband, I said, what is this? He said, yeah, that is how he was born. I said, but during our courtship, you didn't tell me that you were having this kind of handy. You didn't explain anything to me. It's been 3 months I am suffering. It's been 3 months I have not enjoyed any pleasure. Apart from touching and using hand and others to give me a little satisfaction. I told him, how are we going to do this? He said we can adopt children. I said, yes. So he began to tell me that this only thing is not the thing that completes marriage, that we can survive by using other method. Since 3 months I have been suffering, I decided to tell it to my parents that, Daddy, my husband, the man I got married to 3 months ago, has no manhood. I am not going to stay in that marriage. My parents said I am trying to bring disgrace to them. They called my husband. My husband told them, yes, that is how he was born. My parents are telling me that marriage is for better, for worse. That I am not leaving that marriage. That if I leave, I'm going to bring shame and disgrace to the family because it is a name that is well known. It is a name that is well known that I'm going to bring disgrace. They will say that their daughter that just got married in a very big style now is getting divorced. I am confused. I really don't know what to do. Always angry at home. I know sex is not the only thing that makes marriage, but also it is very important in marriage. My husband is telling me that we are made for each other. I say, yes. I wish you explained this thing to me before I entered into this marriage. I would have made my decision whether to agree or not. But you didn't tell me. Now I entered into the marriage and I discovered this, that you have no manhood. I am sorry about that, but I don't think I can pay the consequences. My parents are not happy matters at all. They want to protect their name and they are not doing anything to make me happy. I am confused and I don't know what to do. Please, lovers of good things, I need your advice. I need your opinion. What am I supposed to do? If I leave, am I breaking the law of marriage? Am I selfish? My head is, I don't really know what to do. Please, lovers of good things, help me out. Leave your opinion. Leave your comment. God bless you. I remain your sister, your friend, Antonia Ogbewe. If you have not liked and followed this page.
Hello, hello, hello. Let the conversation begin, guys, as we share the live broadcast. Guys, welcome. Just say hi to us as we dive into our conversation so we can recognize all our friends and we can engage with you guys. So definitely just say hi. It's me, where you viewing me from, your time zone, meaning what country, what part of the world you are. Let's discuss this. Rufus Divine Con is going to be gracing the platform in a couple of minutes, okay? So let the party begin. So Rich Bridge, we say welcome to our live broadcast. We have a couple of our people here. Welcome to our live broadcast. I have my one and only sister, Joy Jones, all the way from Nigeria as well, viewing from our YouTube channel, Born with men who care. Meaning, I read it, you know, when Nigerian men say care, you know, what is that? You know, so welcome and Rich Bridge is viewing us also from Nigeria. Just tell us what part of the world you are viewing me from. And we got John Maklahabar. I think he's from India. He's viewing us from India as well. So yeah, Joy says she's viewing from Nigeria in Africa. It's 3:24 p.m. here. So our time here is 9:25 p.m. And Joy, we are honored to have you. Joy is my good friend from Nigeria, my sister. She's like a buddy to me now. So let's the conversation begin. If you are in the situation dating as a Christian, last week I told you me I got to taste the Jordan River. I know God say no sex before marriage. I know the reason of which this is emphasized on is because it's within the body. You understand? All sins are equal in the sight of God. But because of sexual immorality, the Spirit of God dwell within us. And I want you to know on this platform, everybody that is on this platform, all these ladies, we are okra with the things of God. Even the guy that's going to be joining us, he is okra with the things of God. And we're talking reality here. We're not only talking about, oh, Christian, Christian, Christian. Your male Christianity is difficult for some of us. African people, we made this thing yet difficult. Now the past says she must stay there. Let our man say, I must stay there. Hey, oh yeah, stay there, care. Naja may say. You already know my answer. What will you do if you find yourself in this situation? What will you do? Because from my point of view, right there, Jojo, is unfaithfulness right there. You're going through courtship. During courtship and Christian dating, you go through counseling. And you're supposed to tell your partner everything. And you did not. I don't care, like Jojo say, you knew say vibrator it would be making you to shake, 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 shake. Mistake had to make you satisfy. So what's the deal here? Let us talk it for me. I disagree, and my option will come later. I turn it to you, Jojo, while I mute myself.
I understand. He was born the way he was born, and I really feel bad because no man want to live like that. But even with that, you have to be honest in whatever you do. So for me, I disagree with what he did to her. He should have told her marriage is honesty. You stand before God and man. And the reason this lady waited all this time, she never told him she didn't want sex, and she wanted that she would be a sister in the Catholic Church or whatever church. That's not what she wanted. She wanted sex. She wanted to enjoy sex, but she wanted to keep that until her husband. So she was waiting for that moment. So the marriage, first of all, is not even a marriage because the one in it will totally lie. Even though sex is not the only part of marriage, but it's one of the big key thing of marriage. Okay, so it was very wrong to me for him to do that. Now, for some of our Christian brothers and sisters who want to wait for sex, which I believe that's the way it should be. It's just some of us ain't able to hold it or be patient to do that. But some of our brothers and sisters who waiting to do that, now you have to know that you have to go through a lot of tests and other things to find out before you go into it. Okay, you have to know the person is functioning, and sometimes some men able to function and then want to meet with you, then nothing can happen. All of that, I don't know how you're going to do that, but those are things we have to look at. So I totally disagree with the parents, and I feel like she should walk away because the marriage she got in, she felt like he was a man, and I was going to satisfy her. So she didn't marry what she got. So it was a false pretense. So I think she should get out, no matter what the situation is.
Honey Bunch, it's your turn.
Yes, like I said before, it's a really hard one, but on the basis of deception, because that's what this marriage was based on. It was not based on, um, you know, I don't even think it was based on a mutual agreement. She got into this marriage because her parents says, okay, maybe this guy has money. And many a times our traditional African parents would want their children to marry into wealth, right? So then that's where they're not trying to see anything else, but the only thing they're looking forward to is bringing more riches into their family. And that's where it's wrong, because arranged marriages, many a times people live in arranged marriages and do not get the help, even if there's, let's say, physical abuse, as well as sexual abuse, emotional abuse. They can't even go to their own parents to discuss these things, right? So this woman is desperate, and she took to social media. When you look at it, she took to her TikTok, to see how will others feel being in my situation, right? She is forced to stay in that marriage based off of her Christian values and the mandates of her parents. But on the other hand, she's married to someone that cannot even please her. I'm sorry, at this point, marriage, even though the God says a man will leave his father and mother and cleave onto his wife, and the two is going to become one flesh. And that one flesh, sex is to be enjoyed. Intimacy is supposed to be enjoyed in that flesh, right? So here it is. She cannot satisfy her flesh in her marriage. Now, do you think that marriage is gonna be successful? She could have gone out there and find another man and start to commit adultery. Then she's going to be sinning, right? So it's just a very, very touchy thing. And if I was in that case, I would have loved for him to say, you know what, tell me what it is, give me the option to feel like, okay, I can love you unconditionally. I mean, I know she loves him, but she also want to love him when it comes to that intimate aspect too, right? So give me that option and say, okay, since you were born with that, it's nothing you could do about it. Let's see if we can even, because nowadays medical intervention can do pretty much everything. Here it is. A woman can turn to a man can turn into a woman and have those parts, right? So he should have been honest with her from the get-go. Let her be the one to agree, and then if she wants to marry that person, then she goes say, hey, marry him. But that is just a marriage based on false hope and deception, and that's the worst you can do to anybody. That's what communication is the key from the beginning, from that courtship, from that dating stage, because then that person knows what they're getting or going to get out of their union.
Well, thank you for that. And I mean, then I'm thinking, I probably thinking the parents probably know about this whole thing. That's what I think. And a lot of the time, yes, that's what our parents do. They want us to live their life. They want us to go by them. But you got your life, and I have my life. She's the one going to be in the situation. And the marriage is not even that. What I said is not even a marriage, because he rather were not honest. A woman who waited all this time. I think if you were going to be real with her and they talk about it, to me, she was even going to agree whether we're going to find other means. But for you to even do that to her, what kind of Christian is he? Because it's not even about Christian anymore, because he went in it a whole life, and now he got her questioning herself. Which is wrong. And all the parents thinking about is not about their daughter happiness. All they're thinking about how their name going to be damaged. They don't think that, they're not thinking that their daughter probably will live a life not be happy at all. Well, Muku, we're waiting for you.
You see some of the thing when I say I'm a rebellious child. Sometimes it's good to be rebellious. That's why when it comes to my love life, I don't get my parents involved. I don't let my mom make decisions for me, because I am in a marriage. I will never go into a marriage and have to experience this. I will not take it. Now look at what the parents, because they are in the church, they preferred that a daughter be unhappy, and they protect their characters or protect their face. A lot of women living behind a mask for the name, or what people will say, for the name, or my children. But I tell you it, I would tell anybody, and like I said last week, if you are a pastor and you want to date me to marry me, we're not doing no damn Christian dating. I will make you fall, because I will have to taste Jordan River. All sins are equal in the sight of God. I'm announcing this on the worldwide television of whatever, that you will have to sleep with me. I will probably have to come 3 times on one round to know that you fit enough to carry me for the rest of my life. Because you yourself, you have to experience me to make sure I am fit enough to ride you, to get you all the go come back stroke and be the calope. So that thing that why you're talking Christian dating. So what will you do? That what I will do, I will eat something. But if I'm in a marriage, all right, maybe God convict me. He said, Muku, I will convict you. You are not even thinking about going to let a pastor for. it happens. God can take my mind off for it. But when I get there, where I stay, the Bible says your bed is in the vow. He said a man and a woman should join as one. He said we should bear fruit. The fruit of our wombs are blessed. He said we should be fruitful and multiply. How can we be fruitful and multiplied when we are not sexually active? So before we dive into it, let's welcome some of our guests here. They are really getting involved. So we don't want you guys to feel that we ignoring you. And we got one of our renowned comedian is here as well. Which is what's his name? His name is They Love You. You know he's a comedian. He called himself now Mama Liberia son because he went to Liberia to go get married to Emir. And Mama Liberia said he not marrying Emir. so
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 Muku,
welcome.
I think Muku, I think you should start from it because right now we have 2 hours to do this. So we will ready be cutting our conversation ready short so we can get everyone into it. So I think
Yeah.
you should start from the beginning of the comments so we can
Okay.
go through the first comment so we can know where we ended. And then the
Okay.
next time, because I read it when we started this, we said our audience will be involved into this and we don't want to cut
So,
that off.
Rich Bridge from Nigeria says sex is very, very important in the marriage as well. She got another comment here. She said, this video just cracked me up. Reason why I always tell anyone to test the water before embarking on this journey called marriage. Popcorn available. That means she get her popcorn to watch this video. Popcorn is available. You hear look good, beautiful. Okay, and my hair look beautiful. Thank you, Jojo. We cannot hear you at the time you were muted, Jojo.
Yeah.
And she can be so involved. That Christian marriage is not for me. I cannot be a virgin before getting married. No way. I must eat the thing first before saying I do. I never see a Nigerian woman that can speak Liberian English like this. When they get ready to read Liberian English, I want point Liberian. I can't even read Liberian English like they get it. So she said, but this lady try say. You know, Nigerian men when they say you try say, me like, the lady said try, I must explode. So okay, then what we go here, this guy George Jung, born with no man who care. That mean what, in Nigerian slang. Then she say, yeah, she say not lover of good things. When she said lover of good things, what's your input? What you think? What should I do? She know that this thing here is something, it's a good thing. The Bible says it. A man that found a wife found a good thing. This thing here is a good thing. So she it's saying it. Lover of good things. So, and he didn't say nothing there. And she say Joy from Nigeria in West Africa is 3:24 p.m. my time here. Welcome. And Mama Liberia's son from Minnesota is about 9:25 here my time. Thank you for coming on, guys. Just share the live broadcast. If you're viewing us from YouTube, share the YouTube with your contact. Here, Muku, here are our host and guest. Welcome. Thank you. She's trying to welcome all of you. God bless you all. Thank you, John. I think he's from India.
Yeah, that's one of my
Follow, okay.
hi Austin.
Well, great.
One of my
Hi, Austin Miller. Welcome as well. Thank you for coming on. Your morning, or sisters, morning, mother of the graduates. We need to understand that it need to understand what is the main purpose of the marriage. Lot of people get married for different reasons. Honey,
exactly.
can you read this comment? I got the people calling to tow my car. Can you
Okay,
guys there?
right. We need to understand what is the main purpose of this marriage. A lot of people get married for different reasons or purpose. If 50-year-old man could get married to a widow not because they want to have kids, but for companionship. So the main purpose of marriage between two parties is very important. I absolutely agree with you when you said where a lot of people married for different reasons, and that's what I'm talking about. When you go into a marriage based off of expectations, many a times you go in there for the wrong reasons, right? You see a guy, he's rich. You want to get rich. You want to live in the fabulous homes and ride the expensive cars, the name brand stuff. So of course, you're gonna want to taste that river. Yeah, you want to go into that marriage knowing that you're gonna be the missus of fabulous things. But then you are also not looking into his belief system, his way of doing things, his principles. Then you in that marriage now, you enjoying other the vulgarity of that marriage, all the riches, but then when it comes to your emotional needs, it's not met because you already have told that man you are there because of material things. So that's why we really have to be careful how we give spouses. And many a times, coming from my spiritual point of view, you have to go to God. Yes, God said, let every man find his own wife to avoid, fornication, to avoid adultery. Now, here this lady supposedly supposed to be happily married to her husband, and she cannot enjoy the one thing that God ordained marriage for two to become one and multiply, because true sex is where you're gonna have get descendants to take on your lineage, right? So it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, and like you said, and like one of our audience here said that people marry for a lot of reason, and it is true. But no matter what reason you marry for, whatever, sex has to be inside. Whether you are married for getting your paper, whether you are married for letting the person feel you, whatever the situation is, sex is always in it. So that number one key, you can't take it off. If you're going to take that off, you will have to talk about it to the person. Whatever reason we get into marriage, sex is the main thing in the middle here. So if you're going to take that main thing up, because I'm not saying that sex is all about marriage, but I'm one of the main character in the whole thing. So if you're going to take that off, that's something you have to tell the person. Yeah, you can tell the person, oh, you know what, I didn't tell you I had 2 children, because I felt that's a whole nother story. Or I didn't tell you that so and so. But for you to bring up that we're not going to have sex, that's a wow.
And let's not forget, marriage, you should enjoy intimacy in marriage, because God clearly says in his word, do not defile the marital bed. And that comes in every form: cheating, being deceptive. Okay, your wife don't know that maybe it's a man turned a woman, or a woman turned a man. It's a whole lot of things going on in our society now that if you are not careful, if you do not really do your research, or you do not go to God for clarity and to have those spiritual eyes to be able to identify certain things of the enemy, you are going to fall into that trap of deception. And because we know the devil is out here to devour us, to destroy us, and if we are not spiritually filled, we are going to fall prey. And I'm sorry, it's sex, even though it should be enjoyed in marriage, but then a lot of people enjoy it outside of marriage because of the flesh, so it's like I said, it's a whole nother topic. It's got so many aspects of it, but it's a good topic though.
So I'm saying, love, can you put the topic that dear love you just said? He put another thing on so I can just make a comment about it. No, another one. That's another one. He said, I said that because some people won't care about sexual aspect of the marriage if they focus on the main purpose, not surrounding sex. Now, I understand totally what you're saying. The main purpose, whatever the main purpose is, my dear, sex is the key. Sex is the middle ground here. You can't take away, no matter what I think. Oh, like me, I have my children. So I wanted a marriage when my husband died. I wanted a marriage where someone would love me, love my children, and for us to become one. Okay, I didn't want to have children at all after, for me to get. But I said, if anything happened, Lord, I will have an open mind tomorrow, depending on how my marriage or how the man will be. Okay, that was my thing. I wanted this family thing, but that doesn't mean I don't want sex. So no matter what the purpose is, sex got to be in it. Okay, my mind, when I was thinking when my late husband passed, I wasn't thinking about, oh, would I meet a man who can have sex? I wasn't thinking about it because I know if I get married, of course we're going to have sex. But my number one thing was I should get someone who will love me and love my children, and we become one and work together. I was even thinking about, oh, they make you do this, they may not be able to last long or not, whatever. But no matter what my purpose was, I know sex was going to be in it no matter what. So I understand when you're talking about the main purpose of marriage or whatever, whatever the main purpose is, sex cannot be excluded. Okay?
Yes, I agree with you 100%. I'm sorry, people requesting for the link. So I got the link up here. You can just click like a comment. The link is like a comment here on the show. So you can just click on it if you want to come on. I will let you in studio, okay? So I was basically trying to send the link. So guys, you can see the link. Rich Bridge from Nigeria asked to join the live. Just check your inbox. I just sent you the link. And y'all can go ahead. Let me respond to Rufus Divine, okay?
I mean, if you want to go there, you can say something that I can follow you.
What was you saying? I'm sorry, I was.
No, I said if you want to say something, you can say something and I can talk later.
Oh yeah, when it comes to where he says, if people go into it because they don't want to be intimate, that's a whole nother story. Maybe it's an elderly couple that has been widowed for like a long time and just want to find that companionship, in the old age where you just want to have someone to love on until God calls you home. Yeah, some people definitely do, and I know a lot of seniors do it. But then again, in psychology and in human behavior, you're not just gonna uh 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 like label the elderly of not being intimate, because that's when they're too human and want to enjoy that. So intimacy is a very important part in any relationship. For me, I specifically draw it to marriage because that is how God ordained it to be, right? So yeah, so if people going into marriage with like their own expectations, many a times it's not going to last. And that's why our society today has the highest rate of divorce more than ever before, because of expectations, people not meeting certain expectation that somebody went into that union for, right? So then
Yeah.
is it come to an end because someone became selfish, somebody became disgruntled or cheater, or so many things or they don't communicate. Finances has become a big problem. So it's a lot of things now that's affecting marriage too. So
Yeah, like you see, this it's so. I mean, it's so hard now. Even as Christian or whatever, people coming into marriage in a whole different way. Because one person might ready be coming into it the right way, and the other person will come in it another way. And that's why the divorce rate is so high, because we are not coming as ourselves. Okay, if you come to me and acting the way you're acting, the reason I'm waiting to marry you is what I have seen, is what I have observed, is what I know. That's the reason why I marry you. So if I marry you and all the characters that you put out there to me, and now we marry, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm seeing totally different thing. That means the person that I wanted to marry is not the person I married. So that means the marriage is not real. So the marriage these days is not easy. Only God can help us through this. Only the Heavenly Father can help us through this. Because these days, I'm telling you, people fake everything to make it, and which is very, very wrong. I think the echo, because somebody in there, someone the echo is just Muku, we can't hear you.
Yes,
We can't hear
we had
you.
a guest just came on from Nigeria, one of our viewers. I'm telling her she will have to mute her phone if she's watching the live broadcast. She will have to mute her phone because she's echoing on the phone. So she will have to mute her phone in order for us to, be able to hear each other here. So yes, so you're sorry here. So yes, so thank you for coming on. Yes, so So for me, I definitely will not be staying in that marriage. She even did well by staying in for 3 months. You understand? So let's say this. If they were married and he started to have these problems, I understand. You understand? If he starts to have this problem, we will work it out. The world we're living in now is modern, sex is free. There are a lot of things that will make you enjoy your sexual intercourse. You might not be able to experience him standing the way it used to be, but then that's when the health and the sickness and better for worse comes in. So definitely, if I will have to stay in that kind of marriage for whole 3 months, using only finger and using how you call it thing, using fingers and using toy and using your muff. Yes, I like the muff part. It makes me feel good. But after using your mouth or using your finger or doing whatever, when the real foreplay ready to play now, where you gotta score goal, you gotta take 3 points and stuff is not there. Oh no, I'll be out. 3 months was a long time for her to have stayed, and this marriage was unfaithfulness to her anyway. So
And
I'm
like you
telling
said,
you,
Muku, like if you marry the person and you got sexually active, and then maybe in a week or two, they realize that something happened that the person can't function. That's the whole part about the marriage. When you went in, it's a better for worse, just sickness of health. So when that happened, that's a situation where you guys will have to figure out some other way. You are in it, you can't live from in it. I believe that if you guys get in it, you were sexually active and something happened, you'll have to work it out for other means. But for you to have the problem before the marriage and not tell the person, that's where we come. That's where the problem is.
and that's when we come in with shakabo, shakabo. Ali, when we in it, it happen, and that's when we start to pray, for God manifestation. And one thing I tell people, if I'm in a marriage or in a relationship, I tell God, if something not happening right, I'll tell God, you created me. You say I should be committed to my marriage. You say a man I found a wife found a good thing. You say marriage is a blessing. So that's when you come in and start to pray and tell God. Say you don't want me to. Sometimes you gotta threaten God too. Or he can threaten. Or you say I'm not go cheat. You say my best is fine. Why you treating me like this? I will go cheat on you. And this is your soul. You want to lose this soul here. You understand? So yes. What kind of thing is that? Why you just put somebody in a situation like that? He's not supposed to be a minister. I will take him to court. I will sue you.
But the thing is, it's not God putting us in any situation. Now we coming to God and said, "This is who we want," right? So God,
But he did not tell
God,
her, honey.
God
He
should,
allowed God allowed some things to happen. I don't know for what kind of
Muku,
manifestation.
let her speak. Oh, Muku, come down.
yeah. Many a times we do our own thing and then we blame God. We are not to blame God for our own sinful deeds, for our flesh. Because if we were living out of the flesh into spirituality, trust me, a lot of these things won't be going on. But many a times we look at the flesh to gravitate towards our feelings, to be able to pick and choose. Like if you're living in the flesh, let me be honest with you, you're gonna look for a man who has all the sexiness, all the curve, all the six packs, and he's tall, dark, handsome, whatever your
Oh,
your your,
that's
your
my
uh,
thing. Tall, dark, and
criteria
handsome.
for God is, because why? That's what your physical eyes are seeing. But if you related more to a spiritual part, trust me, you're not gonna go into a marriage based off of the flesh. You are going to first of all go into that marriage because that man is a godly man. And a man who is a godly man, he fears God and he would try to do the right thing. If that man was a godly man, he would have said, you know what, I'm not going to lie to this woman. I'm going to tell her the truth. Whether she
Yep.
loves me or not, at least I know I have told her the truth. But many times people want to do it for their own selfish reason. Maybe he liked the girl, the lady, she does look like a beautiful lady. But we cannot blame God for our mistakes. God
Exactly.
gives us our free will in this world to do as we please. He doesn't force us. He doesn't even
Yep.
force us to love him. He said even to love your God, but we don't love God nowadays. We love a lot of other things over God. And that's why so when we get hurt based off our flesh, then we go to God. Oh God, you said marriage. Well, how come now I'm not happy in my marriage? Did you consult God? Did you wait for God to say, this is who I have for you? Did you go to God and pray to God, say, God, this is the husband I have, the wife I want. Please show me, manifest it to me. Let me feel it in my spirit. And we don't do that. So we cannot blame God for none of our mistakes. That one I would do, I would go against it 100%.
So we got another comment here from they love you. Here, honey, you can go ahead.
Okay, if I was in my 60s and want to get married again, my purpose of focus won't be about sex. Let assume I have a disability, and that a disability that won't allow me to sexually function. But my retirement check is sitting well. I will only be looking for someone who will be able to assist me with my daily routine and little kisses here and there. That is not okay, being intimate. Yes. Now that is your preference. So long as you tell that person, look.
Exactly.
Okay, honey, let's get Rufus the audience because you will soon get off again. Okay. But you can address the question first before Rufus come on.
Yeah, and if you tell that person, look, at this point, intimacy is not my thing. I'm just looking for someone just to make me happy, just to kiss me every now and then, just to rub my back, just to rub my feet. At least you've come in that relationship in honesty, right? Or I will be able to assist you. I get a big fat check, disability check every month. I won't mind buying you this. Just look, there are some people who just want people to just sit down and look at them. If we take it to the sinful nature, there are men out here just looking for beautiful young girls. They call them escorts. You don't even have to do anything. You just need to come. Maybe some of them have these fetishes that you just have to just whoop them with the lashes or whatever. People are sick. People have different needs of what they want. Now that if you present that to that person, you are being honest. At least you have shown that person exactly what you want out of that marriage. But now if you go there thinking that person will want to stay in that marriage, and then all of a sudden you come up with different things, and that it's against that person's tradition or religion or preference, that's where the problem comes in.
Oh, Rufus gone again.
I know network in Liberia is so horrible.
I know. Okay, whenever he come or whatever we're saying, we would just stop and let him talk because his network is really giving a problem. And like what you said, you just took everything out of my mouth. Okay, whatever your situation is at 60, just let the person know. I'm praying at 60, I should still be enjoying sex. Okay, I still want to enjoy sex. So if you think that you're going to get married because he says that, do not assume that the person you're married to will not want to have sex. You have to tell them exactly what your purpose is. Because me at 60,
okay, Rufus is on. Let's address it. Let Rufus come in before we address Rich Bridge message. Rich Bridge, we did send you the code for you to come on, but unfortunately you got off. So Rufus, we'll give you the platform. And we'll mute.
Rufus, let me just say something before you say. You're making me hot here. I can feel the heat from Liberia. Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure being here and being part of a very important discussion that will help to grow our lives and improve on those things that are lacking. We are not perfect. We don't know it all, but we strive to do those things that are meant to be done with the little experiences that we've learned over the years and have to our credits. The whole thing.
Someone got that phone on, please mute.
I had to change my location because where I was is kind of bad. The network is kind of bad. So we are talking about Christian dating before marriage. Why? The why and the not. So in terms of dating, the word dating, and is very much interesting. Date. So we look at the denotative and the connotative meaning of the word date, and then put it in a nutshell to fit in our own discussion. Now, Christian, the word Christian comes from All the meaning Christ light. So they say the Christian doctrine say we will not have what is sexual intercourse until we are married. Partner, what you say? I see a lips open.
Wow, wow, wow. You see the two African countries? Give,
The two African countries fighting. They're like fighting to stay on.
give, we can see you clear. So, but anyway, we can go ahead till till the other people can come on because we're not really seeing it clearly. So,
Your left ear here, that's what.
Gift, welcome to the live broadcast. Gift is coming all the way from Nigeria.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, the network is so bad. The network is so bad. Well, they will come back on. Guys, let's continue where we left.
Yeah, like what he was saying, you know, and we're talking about, oh my God, marriage these days. I don't even, like I said, God should help us.
Honey, unmute yourself.
We
So
say
yes,
God should help us.
you know
God should help us.
this topic is so interesting. You see our audience from Nigeria, Liberia, everybody trying to get on. But the network, Liberia, you got to do something. Not 2G, they're not called for. Yeah.
And then that's what we say in this place that like, America is the greatest country, and people say whatever. But it is true. I love my country, Liberia, but look at what happening. Our people cannot even stay on for even a minute in the internet service. Come on, you know, and we can do better. Yes, we can do better. Our people just have to put into it and start doing just this selfish thing where it's just about me, say I'm here, it's about me and my family. Yeah. This is the greatest country of the world, the United States. We are still on. We are still live. We have not getting off, okay? So Liberia, come on, help us so our people can stay on the internet for a minute to be able to discuss some things so we can understand them too.
We need to learn these things. We need to talk about these things. These are conversations that you don't find people really talking about on social media when it comes to love and relationship, Christian dating, secular dating, and all of that. This is something that we need to really, really talk about. You know, people going through this, even like in marriages, and when they have stayed and their husband can, you know, perform the way he does. So you find women leaving their husbands and going to go find boyfriend out there. You find men leaving their wives to go and go find a young girl over there that will get in or go come back stroke. All right, let me address this, then Rufus can go back on. In the beginning, God allowed Adam and Eve to what's that?
So
Hey, man, people just yeah, they put just me my phone. Y'all sorry, my car. Honey, y'all go ahead. These people calling me. I'll move myself.
Let me just get the first sentence, and then I'll respond to that. Respond to the rest. Can Rich Bridge? Yes, in the beginning, God. All know that God had man and woman to at first they would just be to care for each man. He was taking care of so lonely, and God made sure that he would have a helpmate. Now, God made Adam and Eve to be husband and wife. So it's not like, you know, they were boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. But then now, look, here's another thing where they fell short. They sinned against God because when they became tempted, and that's why when we are married and we fall into temptation, that's what destroys our union. Because why? That part activates from the flesh, right? And that's what happened. And Adam and Eve, in my little understanding, though, I mean, I'm not a philosopher, but it's just my understanding of it. You know, God, Adam and Eve, you know, after they disobeyed God, that's when they start to notice they were naked. That's when they started to honestly start to enjoy that orgasm or whatever it is. And that's when they actually had kids. It was after that whole ordeal. But it was not like that in the beginning, though, before the devil tempted them. So I totally disagree with that sentence right there, because I think God just wanted man and woman to just have that companionship. But then after they sinned against God, and he saw that now they want to live in the flesh, they allowed to say, okay, now you can enjoy that through marriage, right? I mean, that's how I understand that. And that's my input. But you muted, mute yourself.
Rufus, you can go ahead while I send the link to come on. Rufus. Okay, honey, go ahead. Rufus is kind of static, so.
Yeah, like what I was saying, I think
The
Jojo
internet is kind of bad.
herself, so
Jojo, go ahead.
The internet is bad. Internet is so bad.
Jojo, unmute yourself. Oh, Muko, I think you gotta unmute her.
Jojo,
Okay.
you can go ahead. Jojo, you can go ahead. You unmuted.
Okay. Yeah. Like what he said, I read it. Agree with you. Now, when God created Adam and Eve, he had all these things for them to enjoy. At that time, they were just, they were with God and everything. It was not the other way. So it was not any sexual, anything, they were enjoying the glory of God, whatever, until they went against God, okay, in the flesh. And then God make it, now we get this going. So, it's easy for us to turn the Bible around and bring it into a whole nother thing. Okay, it's different. When Adam and Eve were created, they never even knew they were naked. Okay, so they were not in the flesh. Okay, so that part we're not even going to mess it up to try to mess the Bible on here. We're not even going to do it, because at that time, if you don't even know that you were naked, how will you even know that you're supposed to have sex? Okay, so it was different then, and then until the sin against God, and then sex came about. So no matter what the situation is, the main key here is to be honest with one another. Be honest and let the person tell you. Like some of us who very, very honest and bold, sometimes we look to be the bad person, because if you come to me as who you are and then later you're not, and I try to speak about it, and then people come up to say, oh, the person discussing that relationship, that marriage or whatever. But it's not, he said, why can you be honest? If someone be very wrong, like this lady now that came out, if it is rather her own story, and she came on live like this and show herself. So family member want to think against her, that why will you come outside like this and pull yourself out? They're not thinking that she being honest. With a lot of the people that don't want you to be honest, they don't want to, somebody who molest somebody or do whatever, they want you to keep that. Or somebody who treat a woman bad or a man bad, you should keep that. So we will bold that come up to say things we look like the bad person. Yes, there are secrets that you have to keep when you're in relationship, but there are things you're not supposed to, especially when someone comes in something and pretending to be who they're not. You have the right to express yourself. But the whole thing is about being honest, be truthful. If he's true to think he was a child of God, what did he come out? Be rather truthful. Why he fake her? So what make the marriage real? When he was standing on the altar, he was not saying the right truth. He was very, very dishonest. So why he want her to stay in the marriage when he was very dishonest? The person she married is not the person she with. So that's not a marriage.
Yes, dear love, I just sent you the link. If you want to come on, you definitely can come on. Just check your inbox, and we have the link on the screen. When you follow, you can just click the link and be able to join the live broadcast with all me sending it into your inbox. Yes, and Josephine, I agree with you. We who are very honest, if I'm getting married to a man and we're co-shipping or we're going through our Christian dating, I would be so honest to tell him, listen, I know you love me, I love you, but I can't stay more than 10 minutes making love. You understand? Or You can't do it too hard. We will have to do this here. If you do it too hard, it can hurt me. That maybe that's why I left my other relationship. Or I like for me to go for 1 hour. Oh, you know, be honest. Be honest. Even if it don't happen the way you want it to happen when you guys join, you can work on it. You can talk about it. But let me know. And the thing about it, she said not that he don't have it, but he can't even reach to his knee. So it pacifier said maybe bigger than it. And she's a virgin. How can oh Jojo, honey bunch. I will leave you. I will leave you said before I even report to my to your pastor. I just tell the pastor I want the marriage. When they ask me why, I tell you say ask him. He will tell his own story.
My question is, she's a full grown woman. How can you have waited 3 months after noticing that was the case? Because here, thank God, here in America, when you get into a marriage where things aren't working, let's say things happen, you can annul something, right? So that you don't have to go to the full divorce. It can be annulled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you just I felt like she was in there too, deceiving herself, or maybe of the fear of her parents. But you're a grown round woman, whatever. You know what you expect out of a marriage. Now here it is, you got in there, it's not what you were looking for. How can you even stay there? I would have left the very night on my honeymoon, or that very night of my marriage. I'll say, okay, come on now, because we have to consummate the marriage. We have to consummate the marriage. So if that is not happening at that very moment, so what do you have going on? Why won't you touch me as your wife? Now I am legally yours and spiritually yours. Because let us not forget, intimacy is also it's a spiritual thing, because the two becoming one flesh in the sight of God. And we are pleasing God as well, because when a man and a wife loves each other so much to the point that they're enjoying intimacy, that pleases God, that honors God. God enjoys that, knowing that He got two creatures fully in love with each other, right? So now it's not even happening as you expected. Wow, wait 3 months. I would have called my parents the very same night, or maybe I'll give them the night to sleep. The very next day, I was deceived. I'm going to go to God, ask God for forgiveness, because this is not what I want. I didn't know ahead of time, so I cannot be blamed. And God, honestly, I don't think God is going to blame her for leaving that marriage. Why? Because it was based on deception. And He does not have the part that will please her to not defile her marital bed. So He's not pleasing her. Of course, if she was maybe if she didn't have the fear of God in her, she probably would be out there looking for every Tom, and Harry to please her, right? So then that's where she's sinning against God. As believers, I think we take a lot of things out of proportion. I think we try to live this, a perfect life. But let us not forget, Jesus says there is no one perfect. He is the only perfect being. He's the only perfect person. So we cannot even come close to his perfection. All we can try to do is live lives in the sight of God. And if you are not happy in a marriage, and you're in that marriage for 20 plus years, and you're not deceiving God, you're deceiving yourself.
Okay, Rufus, go ahead and we'll mute ourselves for you and give you the audience.
Let me say something, Rufus. Since you keep going off and on, just go straight to the topic. I don't know if you watched the video about the lady. We just wanted to know what you think about the whole thing with her. The man not telling her that she, he never had a man who, when they got married, now she wants to get out, and her parents said no. So
he watched the video.
Get off again. We're all saying something about it.
Go ahead, Rufus. Rufus, just let it go today, man. Just let it go, Rufus. Just go ahead.
Like, the thing is,
we got another guest on here. I hope he comes on.
The thing is, I mean, like I said, we can depend on, because there are a lot of the time that you will say everything to your partner or anything to the person you're about to get married to, and you'll put everything on the ground, but another person could be lying. I will get a chance to one of our people
Yes,
in it.
Love, welcome to our live broadcast. We are honored to have you. You can go and dive right into the conversation now.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I've been following, and I've said one or two things that I was just hoping somebody was going to peek, to see where I was coming from with it. My key focus here, or one of the main problems we're facing in our world of today is there are a lot of our sisters out there who are really, really focused about sex when it comes to marriage. And if you do research and find out, the sad reality is when you find a man who will give you 9/10 or 10/10 when it comes to sex, other aspect of his life is just not in place. A lot of time when you find those guys who you just like, this is all I need. But then you ask yourself a lot of other questions, but how do I manage with him when it comes to this? How do I manage with him when it comes to that and that? So at the end of the day, what do you prioritize when you're going into marriage? What is your main focus or reason? You get what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why you find some of our sisters who they will look at a particular guy and go have sex with him and have a baby. And the moment they have that child with him, when he's gone, then they start to look for a different type of man. Now they're looking for a family-oriented man, or if you don't have sexual skills, that's okay. But if you got the finance and other things going, that's fine. Because on this other side, after the child is involved, you're looking for someone who is more responsible. You see what I'm saying? But it would have been fair enough if you are taking the responsible guy from the jump into the room. So when you come out on the other side, you're well balanced. You get what I'm saying? So it is a serious frustration and something major that I look at other race. There are other people from different race and culture and other things who they are not 100% focused on a man's sexual ability before settling down with him, right? Another sad reality is the way in which a guy who a lady will score as 9/10 or 10/10 when it comes to sex, the way in which that guy will maltreat that woman and she will be patient with it, she won't for another man. But just because of sex, you're patient. Like you see all the BS and all of it, but you're so patient. All because when you get in there and this and that and this and that. So I personally look at it like getting married. Your focus here is I'm not a woman, but I think women's focus should be, can this man bear kids? Is it possible for him to, for you to have child? Now, if it is possible for you to have kids with this person, and this man seems like he's financially stable, he got the ability to provide for his family and for you and the children and other things, then I think that is someone you should definitely consider instead of being focused on a man being able to make you have 7 or 8, orgasm. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I see it. So I feel like going into marriage, there are other key things our sisters should focus on instead of a man's sexual function.
Okay, like you said, what's his name again? Because the thing over, is it Stanley? Was it Stanley, right?
Who, me?
Yeah, what's your name?
Mr. I love you, Mr. I love you.
Mr. I love you. I understand what you say, but trust me, that thing you're talking, I don't know what you mean. The lady should go in there with us sex. No matter what the situation is, it's not like we're going in it like, oh, we're going to have sex, but sex going to be in it. So for you to say when a woman going in there with us sex, I don't know, I don't understand what you mean. Because sex is to be in it no matter what the situation is. So I want you to look at, even you are the men that go in there also want sex from their wife or their partner. Okay, so we go in there with a lot of things. Like I said, I went in there with a whole other thing. I didn't bring up sex, but I know sex will have to be the key. I know sex will have to be the key. So for you to say for the women to go in there, I don't know what you mean. So we should just not worry about sex, that when we get into it, when no sex is okay.
No. So now check this out. if you look at a lot of men, especially our African brothers, right? When we are getting married to women out here, we are not like, we see all the women, like, obviously all women can have sex, right? We are not focused on which one of them is more sexually skillful. No. A lot of men are more focused on character, behavior, and, you know, sometimes educational status. You get what I'm saying? But in some cases, women going into marriage are more focused on sexual skill. In some women, not all of them.
That is not true. Maybe for you, I think you need to speak for yourself. That is not true. A lot of the time when the men going into their sex, no, let me tell you, men, the first thing you're thinking about is that pants. What in that pants? That's the one your mind on. So maybe it's you not going into it, but a lot of the men go into it like that. Let me tell you. Maybe it's you. Sex is number one key. I don't even want you for us to think that we're coming to discuss the thing where somebody will get in it. Like I said, when I was getting married, we talked about a lot of things. The one thing we didn't talk about was sex. Because the reason I didn't talk about it, because I know that's the number one key. I'm not even, you should know already. We're going to. And when I went into it, I will be honest with you on my marriage. Now, when I get into it, my husband was the one who needed into. He got a more sex drive. I thought I was the one who into it, but my husband had more sex drive than me. And I will tell you, we went to our pastor for even that. You understand? So for you to say that, I don't even believe that.
Let me give you a quick example for you.
Can Rufus been having difficulty with his network? So if we can give Rufus, if you can just go ahead, let's give him the audience, and then we can come back. For us who privileged to be in a great United States.
Oh, Rufus.
So, like I was saying, right? Let me give you a quick example, right? Sometimes in the community, for example, you might find a girl who is very promiscuous, like she passing around sleeping with everybody, right? And some of our brothers will go there and meet with this girl, and guess what? You and her, it will almost be like to see you're wrestling, you're sweating in the room, because guess what? When you twist her so she going with the flow, but guess what? When we leave that room, we don't think about getting married to her, regardless of what she's displaying in the room. But I'm telling you, in cases of women, if a woman find a man the first time she can't do with that man, when that man blow her mind, she slowly start to think about long term. I'm telling you. But we men out there, we are more focused on a woman's character, sometimes your educational status, your level of patience. You get what I'm saying? Those are the things we focus on. Now, you don't believe me, but here we are. You don't believe me, but here we are.
This is why you're getting wrong, love. Let me tell you something. The situation we are talking about here is not about woman meeting or man having sexual intercourse. Every relationship is sexual intercourse. What we are talking about here is the unfaithfulness from the start.
From the get-go,
and not telling her your sexual
disability.
You understand? Not till she got into it and realized it. Look, a woman keeps herself, like me. If I'm keeping myself for like a year or two, I'm going to meet that man, I will give myself. Women, we are determined when we say we're not going to be sexually active with no man until I meet the right man, or I'm keeping myself. Let's take, for example, women leave their husband, their boyfriend, and travel to another country. They are separated. That woman will continuously be faithful to her husband, or waiting for that faithful day or faithful night that when I meet my husband, we will have that real good state, feelings for each other and enjoy our sex life. But this is a woman who kept herself and said, I am not going to be intimate with no other person. I am not going to give my body to nobody, only my husband. And after I married him, my expectation is so high to enjoy my sex that God has commanded us to not devour. And then I realized that this bed has been devoured.
Okay, no, I'm not going to condone wrong, right? I'm not going to condone wrong. In that case, the guy was wrong for it. At least you should have let her know. You get what I'm saying? Now, if she gonna stay or not, that's left with her. But again, we, getting into marriage and all these things, that's where I came in with my point. So
Okay,
the
love,
man, I'm telling her he's wrong about it.
love,
Let me tell you something before we get our next caller.
let have this lady come in because she's in Africa as well. You know, Africa don't have a good network, so let her give her information, and then when she go off, we can start from there. So reach the platform is yours. Got difficulties. So let's do this, right? Let's engage with some of our comments here in our, this we can go from there. Rufus has been having problems. Rufus is one of our guest hosts. He has been having network problems. That's okay. So, but let's talk about this. Rufus, when you're having sex with your partner before marriage, helps you open up and you do not feel lost. This also helps in building confidence. Many people feel that it is important to check their sexual capability before getting married. Which of course I said it. I would have to tell somebody with her. No if and about that. Even if you're a pastor, you can speak into shakabo. If you see me and want to be a wife, I have to feel that too. I'm not only going to experience that or the Bible say, or you find a wife, find a good thing, the Bible say, and you pray and you answer. I have to experience the physical aspects of the Bible. I'm honest with you. I'm very, very honest with you. If I say Hebrews 13:14, consider sex outside of marriage to be a. I mean, I want to know just because sex or a marriage thing when it comes to the Bible. I don't know, but love.
Believe in a marriage, that's how it should be. It just our generation now is a whole nother thing. But I truly believe if you're able to hold yourself until sex before marriage, that would be very great. But you want to make sure that you find out all of these things that the person can function. You find out all of it, not from only the person saying it, but a doctor should approve all of that before you get into it. I totally believe that how it should be. I'm not going to.
Yes, it's immorality, right? Yes, we understand sex or a marriage is immorality, and we all, like I said, every one of us that's on this platform, we are all come to the things of God, right? Sex before marriage, sex out of marriage is immorality, and you have to honor your marriages, sexual immorality and adultery, the Bible, all those things. We know it. So what happens? I tell you, I will commit the sin, and God will forgive me because He's.
But let me say this, right? Based on that Bible quotation you mentioned, right, from the book of Hebrews, is to let you know God's desire for this whole marriage thing. It's not for marriage to be focused on sex.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able, for example, right? Let's say you've been coming around to visit me. Let's say I live in your house with my sister and stuff. You've been coming around to visit me. If you've seen a certain character or behavior in me that shows to you how responsible I am, and you start to build that interest, and I come around you, based on my character and other things, let's be able to make a solid decision. So people making decisions based off of sex, that's why the Bible tells you even put it aside way before marriage. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I know my sister here will always disagree with me. I'm hearing you, you mute. I know you always disagree with me, but the truth here is, for me personally, if I was to meet someone, right, and you show to me you're a well-behaved person, and I can see it for myself. I'm not, honestly speaking, I'm not going to be worried about if you're able to get on top and get in the driver's seat and drive, and if you're able to bend. I'm not going to be worried about that, because guess what?
Let me tell you something, love. What I believe here, you have your own little personal thing. That's is personal for you. I think that's how you believe. But when you're speaking for men or for women, I don't believe that. Let me just go into what you said, Apple. There are some men will leave their wife or their wife because of the way that girl he slept with, the way that lady happened. Put it all around, he will leave the wife for that woman. So that thing you talking is not you to say, oh, when the man go and see that woman, the way the woman, and the way he wanted the woman to wear, and then soon he get all of that, you will not want it. That's not true. Not for every man. That for some men, so other men, so it's different for you to think majority of the men. For you to think that majority of the men will think like that, and that's not true. And I don't want you to look at the women that what we think about is sex. That's not true. For me, I'm legally married. Okay, I'm going through separation. Okay, I haven't had sex for a year now, and trust me, you should see in my inbox the dark, the rich, the poor, the this, the all over there. So if it was just all about sex, I'm all about having sex around. So that's not true you're saying about the women. That is not true. Some of us know that sex, even though we will have sex when we get in it, but that's not the most important thing. I'm here, I have not had sex for 1 year. And do you know how many handsome men they're watching me now?
I hear.
I had sex for 1 year too.
Tell me something.
No, something is not to just agree. Look at me. I'm very
Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy.
I want to prove you wrong.
Take it easy.
It's not right about sex. So I think it's personal to you. I don't believe that.
No.
All right, Rufus, why you say Rufus?
If I always think about what be Rufus go ahead, yeah.
Rufus, to understand our whole scripture, the Bible said the man might have sex with your own wife, the wife might have sex with her own husband. But this is not a situation yet. The situation yet that this man cannot have sex with your own wife unless he finger her, he use his lip and his tongue. But we're talking about this woman need to experience the real really same man pastor man say, and he don't have it. So this is the situation, yeah, honey. You laughing, honey. That reality, yeah, honey.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely is. And yeah, sorry, I got caught up because me and my husband goes on memorial service right now. So,
so Rufus, go ahead.
Yeah, but
use his fingers.
The internet, the fellow people don't want me to have
my husband is saying
unique topic,
my
but
husband
a lot.
is saying that they can use other things.
No, Coco, no, Mr. Harris, we want to experience the real thing, my friend. My partner Jojo said you use a vibrator. 30 times she can just be judging. She want a hospital.
I don't want vibrator. It's me. I don't like vibrator. Vibrator do nothing. I want something that have blood running through it.
The thing is, she took an.
I won't actually.
Words so that she's.
Well, I won't advise that we get involved with masturbation because masturbation comes with a lot of demonic attacks. You know, financially, morally.
Go ahead, bro.
You know.
No, Rufa, let's forget
masturbation comes with a lot of.
Rufa, what will you do if you marry a woman? You're coming to get married to her. You getting married next month. What will you do if you get married to the woman you realize that her no care is sealed and not open and she didn't tell you? Time out to go do it, you can't do nothing. What do you do?
Rufus will go ahead.
It's a people. I read it.
He said people.
I read it. I'm really not getting you clear, but it's so sad in that. Let's be real, right? Sex is a unique thing, right? Sex is very unique, and like my brother saying, and you know, and you get around a woman. Men, we are moved by what we see. Women are moved by what they feel. No matter what, my young man, I must tell you this: that woman you talking about. And I want to have good moral, good devil. Just so that I let her to rock you. The first thing you see a woman in the other like your sister. You start seeing a woman in the other like your sister.
I love you, Rufus. I love you. Thank you.
When you want
right now.
Julia, Rufus, start.
When you want, like for instance, if you know very well, you know you had this relationship, and both of you were very compatible in bed. Now that it was unfortunate that you did not get married.
The woman not see again, but we gotta come in. Tama say yes. Tama said this is one of the major issue. Muku, I have this experience. So, Paul, you want to go ahead?
And when we think about where it says, you know, you have, if she really honestly loves her husband, there are medical things that can help them, right? If she could come to the Western world where he can have a surgery, I mean, they can do that for him. They can definitely do that for him.
So like that, so how is she gonna? I don't understand how it's gonna happen. I understand women, men can take all that thing and put it there, like woman and all those things. Well, how can it happen? It does not
Let me tell you, working in the medical field, when I went to a medical convention, I actually got to see a video of how they can transform these transgenders, right? So let's say a woman is going in there for you know, to transition into a man, right? They use her female, our sensory part, you know. I mean, I don't want, because I know maybe some kids are watching, but the clitoris is what is used to elongate, and then they elongate that, and then they make that into the man part. It's very interesting, like how science have come so far in actually, you know, doing things for people. So that is something that can definitely be done, because I said, I'm a witness. I've seen that. I've seen videos working in the medical field for over 15 years. That can definitely be done.
Amelia, we're not deviating from the topic. This is the table talk. We can bring anything up and have a conversation about it. Even though we have a topic, or anything that comes surrounding the topic, we will engage in it.
Somebody put my name in their comment here.
Oh, Jojo, she said Jojo vibrator stimulates.
Yeah, it'll be good for everyone. Everyone different. I just don't want vibrator. I will hold my heart. Like I said, I have not had sex for over a year now. This one making me a year now. But I don't want vibrator. It's me and my mind not on it. Honestly, that's how I am. My mind is off it, because I feel like I don't, you know, until I can get that. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to come lay here, taking stuff, putting it all on my parts and trying to, no, it's not me. I don't like it until I reach to the place where I want to take this person and get into the sexual act with them. When that time reaches, I will get there. But I don't want no vibrator. That's not me. I don't care how I think it make people. Like I said, I tried it before. It's just not something I like. I feel like it even make me go crazy. So I don't want it. It don't help me. It's not, so I don't want it. So it's just me. And I understand it help a lot of people, but we all different. It's just not helpful for me.
I definitely agree with you, Jojo. That's something I don't even partake in, because you know what? I'd rather have the physical.
There's no way you can partake in it. Your man right next to you. How? How?
You'll be surprised. People bring a lot of things into their matrimony.
Yeah.
Other person into their
Yeah, that's to me personally. To me personally, that's disrespect to manhood. For all to be in a room in the middle of transaction, a woman here holding all kind of plato and thing. And what's my function? What is my function?
The men can bring
you not see real money around, and you put counterfeit around it too. You say, oh, let them mix the counterfeit with the real money. No.
Rufus, go ahead now. Why you stop? There was so much Nancy again.
Rufus, go ahead with depending on you. Let go before you go off again.
Oh, you depend on Rufus now.
Rufus only make it defend.
Off. For you to live in a whole nother world.
I need to call person and tell her for person to tell her Indian people and not Lebanese people to do better with our network. There you go.
No, but let me just make this point, right? So somebody was saying something about going off topic. Now, the reason why I keep emphasizing on the fact that some men can go after women, you know, and not be focused on sex is because in this lady situation, right? In this lady situation, there's no problem in this marriage, but she got married to a man that she didn't have sex with before, and then boom, she found out he got a sexual disability. And the first option that's on the table right now is It's either she walked out, or I mean, just because of considering the fact that he lied to her, which he was wrong about it. But the fact that there is problem in the sexual area, she is looking at or considering ending that marriage. That is an indication to you that no matter what else is on that checklist that is correct, if sex is not, she's out. Which means to some women, sex is very crucial, and it is almost the most important thing to them when they get into marriage. You get what I'm saying? There's the reason why some of our brothers with beef stomach, they that got money, well behaved, they pay attention to them. But the weed smoker beginning in the community was smoking weed in and out of jail, that they don't want to run it behind. And then they will have 2-3 children by then when they're feeling and then they want to look for the beef stomach men to to come and be fatherly role and all that for no reason. She's coming back.
Word. I don't know where you're coming from with that thing. That man, don't say the word. It's not the first thing on the table for her. Absolutely, it's not. But that's one of the main problems because he lied to her. And the reason she kept herself all this time, she wanted to marry before she had sex. And just because she bringing sex up now, to see me is the number one thing she put on the table. So that thing you're talking is wrong. Everything you say here, you're living in a whole other world. Because men, number one thing, soon to marry a woman is the first thing that they come up with. So I think you have issue with a woman liking sex. We do love sex, but we kind of get into it, so the way you're talking, I don't even believe you. Because men, the way men talk, my sister over there, she her husband going, I'm sure he knows what I'm talking about. Your men, y'all think about this thing that right there. Ain't no way you're going to marry a woman and you think that it's not about sex. Now, if you're getting into it and somebody have to, you're in the sex and you're somebody too, somebody wanted more or not wanted more, it's different thing. But I think you're basing it on women want to. It's all about sex. No. When we talk about sex, it's the men. The first thing men think about is sex. So I think you got the whole thing twisted. It's not truth. It is not.
You're definitely right. A woman is mostly emotional. She comes into that relationship in an emotional way where she can support her husband, where she can take care and raise the children, but she's also there to satisfy her husband's desires and needs. But
yes,
that's not the first thing that a woman will wake up in the morning thinking about. Okay, that's not the first thing, and that's why it is one man and a man, because woman has different attributes, a man have different attributes, different needs, and we all don't have the same characteristics, right? We don't desire, most of the time we don't desire, but a lot of time wives will give in to their husband's desires. And that's a whole nother topic, because a lot of men will say, well, the woman she's not performing, she don't give it to me every time I want it. And so he goes out there and cheat. And that's why you see adultery is on the rampant in our community, because the man feels like that's the only way he can connect to his wife. And that's not the only way you can connect with your wife. That is definitely not the only way you can connect with your wife, through the flesh. Yes, it enhances the love, it enhances with your relationship, but other things play a factor in a successful marriage.
Rufo Naka, like your Rufo chairs again before they take it off.
So what's the complaint? Is the man complaining or the woman?
The woman is complaining, babe. She came on social media to ask her followers what would they do, because her husband does not have a man's heart. And she has been there without any sickness. She's a virgin, and she is not able to be, pleasurized off of his condition. So now and her parents are telling her to stay in a marriage, even though I don't think she wants to be in that marriage, because that is not what she signed up for. So she's coming to get other people's support and input in the situation. So what do you think about that?
The only thing I think about
as a man,
the guy does not have feelings, okay, or he doesn't function. So they have to discuss it. They have to draw a line. The woman will probably leave the marriage or stay there to take. Maybe he's looking for a caretaker.
No, but tell him that the woman did not know. The men were not honest with the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they will have to call whatever meeting, family meeting, whatever they need to do traditional. They will have to discuss it. She's probably going to
Well,
find.
why you not here about family meeting business? Family meeting second. I can't have my sexual
No,
intercourse with my husband. What
listen,
family meeting got to
I just
do with
trying
that?
to
Where we want you to understand where the topic came from. This woman, she's a virgin and she kept herself. But the men were not honest with her until they got married.
yeah, but
So
two things
she should stay in it.
happen. She either quit the relationship or she stay there and just go through the pain and suffering.
But she don't want to be in it. She
Yeah, but-
doesn't want to be in it. Her parents want her to stay in it to keep the family name.
Well,
She
she
don't
have-
want that. That's what she waited for.
And that's what she needs. So she needs to go to where the very same Bible says a man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Now, the parents has no say in that marriage. If she is not satisfied in her marriage, she has every right to go to God first and say, Father, I think I have tried the best that I can in this marriage, but you know what? God already knows her heart.
Is she a
God
teenager?
knows she's in her
Well, she
in
has
her
a
probably
decent-
40s, 50s.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so that's where she goes to God because God sees our hearts. That's why He said He looks at the heart. She's in that marriage, grieving, unhappy. Now that is where she is sinning against God because she is not being honest with herself.
The thing is, she has to.
Read some comments, please. Let's put our audience into this thing.
Okay, all right, audience, we apologize. So let's come here and see. Amelia said was deviating from the topic, and I make her to understand that this is the table talk. So Linda said, how do you find out if the person can function without testing it out? My question, then my same question, my same question. Lauren today, you say I want to connect with all the women are occupied, they are involved. I believe says Josephine, but now you says Moku. What did I do again? You don't believe me, my people. I read it up on this show here. Jojo vibrator helps stimulate. We saw that. Satama say for me, I cannot take any space before marriage. I must do my thing for 7 months. No pastor cannot tell me about any traditional things that was doing the days of the Egyptians. I am not from Egypt. Okay, my brother, I stay in agreement with you. I stay in agreement with you. But 90% of men run after women for sex in any environment. Of course. You see that? That's a man talking of that's a man talking, and that's why Josephine was talking. A lot of men go after women because of what on the skirt.
No, but listen now.
Let me tell you something. How many men, women will hold themselves for 2-3 years, 4 years, with all sex, and I have done it.
Right.
See,
Men don't. Can I? Yeah. Hey man, I wish I can really see where I'm coming from with this.
Nothing.
No, listen.
The whole thing here is, and I agree with Jojo, a woman, like I said, look, let me tell you, we are special. And you guys can never understand the mind and the thinking faculty of a woman. Trust me, we can definitely understand y'all. A woman can say, okay, all my husband desires sex. Anytime he went out with you, give it to him, whether she wants to or not. It is your decision to make, right? Even though that is also not defiling the marital bed because you also want your marriage to succeed. But when a woman is not in a relationship and she decides to keep herself, no man can tamper with that woman. You know why? Because that is what she has told herself, that she will wait. Yeah, she has shut the flesh. We don't, like I said, the men don't shut they don't shut the flesh. They do not. You hear my husband?
Like your own friend, they're talking.
No, but listen now. But y'all hear me out now.
I mean, right now.
No, Josephine, I've been listening. Y'all hear me out. I've been listening. No, I've been listening. I've been listening, right? This is the thing. A lot of our Liberian brothers, when you find them these days, a lot of them they're phoning it out of cheating. You know why? Because guess what? Before they can get married to whosoever they're getting married to, they know that woman don't have certain sexual skills and things, but based on her character in her character in her. I'm coming now. Give me a chance. based on her character and her behavior, they will get married to her, have kids by her and things, and they stay cheating outside. And the person they cheating outside with, they won't make mistake to tell you say they're leaving their wife for that person. No, it happens all the time. For example, I found myself in a relationship where, the woman I was with, she was married before. She said she had a procedure and it took her womb out. So she don't have the possibility of having kids anymore. She don't even have that sexual appetite anymore. You get what I'm saying? But she have 4 kids. Listen, she have 4 kids, right? When I connected with her based on this, if we want to have sex, it's almost like I will have to engage, I will have to initiate the whole process. You know what I'm saying? She just didn't have it. They took her womb off. She couldn't have kids anymore. She had 4 kids.
In medical term, a hysterectomy. That womb or thing, it sounds too much.
Okay, so now, in that case, right, based off of a 4 kids she had, I was doing so well connecting with them. We were doing a lot of activity and things. So it was a whole lot of fun and excitement for me when it comes to the other aspect. You get what I'm saying? Now, if I was to make a decision to say I won't get married to her, my focus at that point, I won't be about sex. Now, maybe I might be more concerned about the
That
kid.
wouldn't be a decision because I feel that decision is a condition. So it was going to be a choice that you make, and you have to live with that choice for the rest of your life.
And that whatever situation that woman was going through, it's not because of the procedure. I want you to know
It was
that
medical.
thing that going on. There are a lot of women who did the procedure. I know a lot of my sisters, a lot of my friends that did the procedure, and they are ready into sex.
No, yeah, but she.
To do with the procedure.
No, it wasn't about the procedure, but with the exception of that, she also had that condition too behind her. All I'm saying here, right? I don't want to use the phrase that say if sex was everything, all prostitutes would have been married by now. You get what I'm saying? When the men in Africa and other places go meet prostitutes, when the prostitutes perform stuff for them, why they don't jump and say they're going to marry them? Because they don't have character. Because they don't have character. They don't have no good deals. We are not looking for men. We don't look for women who got sexual skills to display. That's not our focus. No. Our focus is character and personality.
No man coming to agree with you. You live in a whole nother world. That is not true. You absolutely wrong. I will tell you. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't know what the situation is. If you're beating not doing too well now, that what you think whatever it is, that is wrong.
Let me check married.
I am not going to. No matter what, no matter how a woman play any sexual skill for me personally, I will not base on it and tell you say I'm getting married to you. If you don't know how to behave yourself, I am out.
But
If you can behave yourself well, you don't know how to open your focus, I will bear with you and be with you and show you say that's how we can open our focus. When you twist it, we'll be on a small. But I'm not gonna go behind you because you know how to do sound check when no.
But your own friend man saying this. Your own friend is saying this. He said, so true, Muku, I did marriage and family. So I know all the position to run after women and at a particular time what to do and not to do. So I can tell my brother that men run after women for sex after 2 months. It's over. Then we run after another. That's it.
Well, it depends on the man. I don't want to sit here and say every man thinks that.
No, Mr. Love said that men do not go after women for sex.
Okay.
You can give us a woman with 100% self skills, no good character, no good behavior. We don't want you. So we more focus. We're more focused on your character and your behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, my husband and I are currently.
You know how many our girls are going in Miami right now? They increase the BBL in Miami. They increase the price to 11,000. That's where they're going. They increase the price to 11,000.
That's something about woman. That's your problem. You need to work on it, but it has nothing to do with men. So you got this all twisted. You got this all wrong. There is something you have about women.
Exactly how.
What you say right now.
Josephine, I cherish women and I love women who are well behaved, culture minded, who know. I will always put a crown. I'll always put a crown on a well behaved woman.
Women don't respect you.
No. I will always put a crown. I'll always put a crown on a well-behaved woman, a woman with good character and moral attribute, before I even look left to see who's one of them able to lock the door for 2 hours with all going outside. At the end of the day, guess what? All your sexual memories, you can't sit down anywhere to explain it to anybody. You know what I mean? Like when you, let's say when you were 25. Let's say when you were 25. I come here. Let's say when you were 25. Let's say you were 25, you had a beautiful sexual experience. In the future, you can't explain it to nobody. But when you are 25, if you met a man who are well behaved, that took you on a romantic, well organized date, you'll be able to explain it to your children in the future. But the one who take your force out and flip you like that, you can't explain it to nobody in your head. After some time, you forget everything that even happened. So where we going with the whole sex? Where are we going?
Yeah, but how we agree with you, some men, and that is in reference to Tama a comment. Exactly, some men, I agree with you. Some men, there are some unique men. There are some men who are just after sex out there. So I definitely agree with you. So guys, we have about 4 more minutes to our time, and we'll call it a day, and then definitely we'll be able to
Can we
reiterate.
the last comment so get our people involved before we get out? So we
Which
have
one?
some more.
No, that was Tama right here. Tama Satama. We already did. We already pretty much did all the comments so far.
Okay.
hmm Let me see here. We got another hiding comment here. Let's see. So yes, guys, we are very very excited that oh, he left. We are very excited that we had people to join our conversation. For those who could not really participate because of the network problem, we apologize. I think you should move to a better climate. I'm sorry, I'm just playing. Don't say Muku hating, okay? I'm just playing, but honey, you are muted. You can unmute yourself, honey. So, but we really appreciate all our audience. And I mean, we are doing amazing. And I'm so happy that you guys have been engaged. People be, oh, tonight it is short today, one time. And I'm happy that we can even do it in a way that the people in Africa can participate. This is something that really kicking people out of marriages and relationships. There are some who goes in for sex. There are some who go in for selfish reason. There are some who come in it with and not being faithful or honest to the marriage. So, but this is something a relationship. It don't necessarily have to be only married people. There are people who in relationship and they want to extend it as well. So we encourage you guys to come on every Saturday morning. Our time here is 9 o'clock. Liberia is 2 o'clock. Nigeria is 3 o'clock. Ghana is 3 o'clock as well, and other part of the world. So I say thank you to everybody for coming on, and we say congratulations to all our graduates and our sister Rhoda Hoff, who's one of our strong supporter. Her son graduated high school yesterday, and it's a blessing in this country to see your child or children graduate from high school, go to college, and be a better person. And to all our single mothers out there who children or babies are walking across the stage, I say bravo to you. You are amazing. You do an awesome job, and I know God will continuously put smiles on your face. So this is my closing submission, and I will turn it to Jojo, and then Honey, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you guys, and have a faithful and fruitful weekend. I'm going to be outside today. I get ready to see the CEO body.
Oh, she
Thanks.
Okay, Jojo, it's yours.
I want to say thanks to our people again for coming in. I can understand a lot of people wanted to come on or just couldn't make it. We pray that the internet will work for all countries, that we were able to have people. I'm just going to stop here and let her say something. She's been ready trying. She can't get on. I will give her a word.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, this topic, I missed the whole thing, Jerry. I've been trying to get online, but our crazy network has been dealing on us. So, like that video, honestly, I don't like what the parents said. Honestly, I can't stay with a man for 3 months, 3 solid months without nothing. Jeez, I can't cope. I must taste the waters. I must taste it. But I wonder why they did not feel it before saying I do. It's crazy. It's bullshit. It's crazy. I must have
because
a feel.
when the Christian dating and the Pentecostal people say don't have sex
Christian
when you get
dating is
married.
not for me. Trust me. Christian dating is not for me. No, no, no. I must eat. Test the latent first before I say I do. If not, no to that marriage. Like, I will tell you guys a story. Like the first guy in my life, he was this kind of born again Christian. I tried to lure him into it, but he said he will make love to me when we are married. First, I was like, no, I can't do that. What if we get married and I start seeing all these crazy signs that he's not man enough to handle me in bed, all this stuff. And that was how I ended the whole relationship. Because I don't want to cry in my sleep. I don't. And I don't want to cheat on my man if I say I do.
I like that. It's the I don't want to cry in my sleep for me.
That's what I tell you. Across this show, we learn from one another. I just learned a new thing from cry in the sleep. This is
It's probably lay next to that person and just crying out, "Hey God, what did I do? Oh, what did I do?"
Exactly. Because honestly, I love sex. I love it. And I want to have a full of it. I don't want to cheat on my man. I don't want to. But if you're not giving me what I want, trust me, that whole thing is over. I can't stand it. I can't. It's over between us. You can be the most loving, caring man in the whole world. You can be a billionaire, a trillionaire. I don't give a fuck about that. But if you can't satisfy me, sorry is your name. I'm done with you. Seriously.
Thank you so much, Rich Break. This conversation, this topic will continue it next week. We will continue it next
Very good.
But they get a chance to express themselves. So we ready going to go in the topic next week. If we get in the middle where we think we are ready to talk about it, then we'll bring up something. My girl Muku and I will always get something on our sleeves. So if we talk about it and nothing, we will bring up something. But I think we got to end it here. We got to respect the time. We close at 11. The reason why we extended it because we saw how much you were struggling to come on and the internet was not allowing you. But thanks for coming on. We pray that your internet works and make it happy. We will be on again Saturday at 9. So
we call it Christian Marriage episode 2. We'll be back for episode 2.
It's happening, and it's happening the way we wanted it. We wanted to be able to educate one another, learn from one another,
I think that topic should be edited because it's not. When you look at it, it's not just Christian. You even Hindu. You have arranged marriage before you can even taste the waters. So we have to say religious. Okay, when you're religious, it's what you do. So we're not going to limit it to just
I want
Christian.
to say something. I want to say something. I wonder why people can stay with their dating, yes, but no sex. How do they cope?
We'll talk about that next week Saturday because
we have to respect our time, so we will keep it. And remember, we're going to discuss it. This topic, we're going to end it next week. But anyway, we have to respect the time. And we want to thank everyone. We want to thank our people for coming on here. This will make us, no matter what going on between Muku and I, we have to make sure we have to come and talk to our people. We have to set up the table, our teacup, and talk to our people. So we say thanks. And I want to go to our other hosts that we have. So just
thank you for coming on Rich Bridge. We'll have you on tomorrow.
I know I saw a few of my followers, Hawa and John and Austin. I want to say thanks, guys, for coming. Please join us. I'm going to share this link every Saturday morning. So the more people we get, and one thing, if you have iPhones, the way you can join with your iPhone is just copy the link and go directly to Safari and put it in the search button on Safari, and it'll bring you on. That's how I got on, because I have iPhone. Was giving me a heck of a time. But thanks for joining, and may God bless you all, and come with more topics and more input so we can have a very good discussion. Have a blessed one. Thanks, Muku. Thanks, Jojo.
Thanks for coming on. We love you guys. Have a beautiful, 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 beautiful weekend. This brings us to the end of our broadcast.
Love you guys.